Guys, there has to be a way to make these not so boring, and I promise I'll try to figure that out.
But in the meantime, Pitch Perfect is in the background.
Okay, we are going to solve compound inequalities. So what we want to do first is think about what that means. And so if we think about other compounds, what is a compound sentence in English class? Well, a compound sentence in English class is when you put two sentences together with but, or, and, things, words like that. So you have something like, I went to school and I ate lunch. I know that's not a very creative sentence, but that's a compound sentence. An office compound would be where you have a bunch of different office buildings and it makes an office compound. And again, that's not a very good picture, but you have a bunch of offices together. What is a chemical compound? Well, a chemical compound would be something like sodium plus hydroxide gives us sodium hydroxide. Anybody know what sodium hydroxide is? Well, it's table salt. So you put two things together to give you compounds. Well, an inequality compound is when we put two different inequalities together, and we have two different kinds. We have an or, and we have an and. Or would be something like x is less than 3 or x is greater than 5. Usually when we have those, when we graph them, this would look like this. X is less than 3 or x is greater than 5. We graph both of them together and we get this graph. And you can remember it because it looks like oars of a boat. Sometimes those could overlap and you would have the whole number line. So this would be or. So if we have and if we had something like x is less than 7 and x is greater than -1. X is less than 7 would look like this. X is greater than -1 would look like this. And is the part where they overlap. Where are both of those true? So it is true between -1 and 7. So we actually have just a little piece of the graph. Now if they were to not overlap, there would be no solution. Now another way that we write the and ones is it's just this little piece. So x is between -1 and 7. So a lot of times it'll look like this. And these are the ones that we're really going to concentrate on today. Okay. 5 is less than x is less than 13. What does that mean? Well, we talked about that a little bit already. This means that x is between 5 and 13. Or you could say x is greater than 5 and x is less than 13. When we have an inequality like this, it's an and it's put all together, we treat it like it has three different parts. Okay, so when we have this, -3 is less than 2x plus 1 is less than 3. We want to get this x in here by itself, so we look at this as if there are three parts to it. So to get the x by itself, we need to subtract 1. So we're going to subtract it not only from the middle, but from both ends also. So -4 is less than 2x is less than 2. Then we're going to divide by 2 to get rid of that 2 here. So we have to do that by the other two parts. -4 divided by 2 is -2 is less than x is less than 1. So this means that x is between -2 and 1. So if we graph that, it looks like this. And interval notation, we put the left one first, and then the right one. Both of these are open circles. Neither one of them have a line under it, so they both just get parentheses. Okay, number 2. 1 is less than or equal to 2x plus 3 is less than or equal to 11. We want to get rid of the 3, so subtract it. So 1 minus 3 is negative 2, less than or equal to 2x, less than or equal to 8. Divide by 2, so divide both of these by 2. Negative 1 is less than or equal to x is less than or equal to 4. So x is between negative 1 and 4. It is equal to, so these are colored in circles. So the left one is negative 1, the right side is 4. Both of these are colored in, so they both get brackets. Okay. Now, here is a word problem. This is the formula that converts Fahrenheit to Celsius. If Celsius temperatures range from 15 to 35 inclusive, that means that it includes 15 and 35. What is the range for the Fahrenheit? So we want to know if the Celsius temperature is going from 15 to 35. So that means that it is between 15 degrees and 35 degrees, and since it's inclusive, we have equal to. So the formula for Celsius is 5 nonths times F minus 32. So that goes in the middle. Now, a shortcut to get rid of this 5 nonths, we could distribute it and all of that, but to get rid of a fraction, you multiply by its reciprocal. So if we multiply by the reciprocal, the reciprocal of 5 nonths is 9/5. So if we multiply by the reciprocal there, we're going to do that to both of these also. So here the 9/5 cancels out the 5 nonths. And then we would say that 5 goes into 15 3 times. So 9 times 3 is 27. Less than or equal to F minus 32. Less than or equal to 5 goes into 35 7. 7 times 9 is 63. Add 32 to get rid of it here, so we have to add that to the first and the last. So we get 59 is less than or equal to F is less than or equal to 95. So since we have degrees here, I'm just going to put a degree symbol. And then we're asked to use interval notation. Make sure that you always read your directions to see how they want you to do it. So interval notation would go from 59 to 95. And these are equal to, so it gets brackets. Now this last one, I'm just going to do one example because we really don't have very many of these that we have to do. But this means that x is less than 4 or greater than 10. X is less than 4 or greater than 10. So when they're written apart, you just have both parts with an or in the middle. So if we have a compound inequality, it's going to look like this. So you simply take each equation and work them out separately and then stick the word or in the middle. So if we subtract 9, x is less than negative 6. And then if we subtract 9 here, 2x is greater than negative 2. Divide by 2. X is greater than negative 1. And then we have the word or in the middle. So this whole thing is our answer. Okay? So you want to fold this. And it's going to go in our notebooks on page 94. Okay? Hope that helps. See ya.